In class 12, we have studied in the last video about the autosomal recessive gene disorder, isn't it? So that is about sickle cell anemia. So where this is a disorder related with autosomes because of the presence of recessive genes. So where the body is unable to produce the normal RBCs. It means the normal discoid or biconcave RBCs, they changes their shape, original shape, into sickle shape or crescent shape, isn't it? So hence those kinds of RBCs, they have shorter lifespan, they do not carry sufficient amount of oxygen. So then they tend together, they clump together, forming the clots within the joints as well as in the kidney, and that causes recurrent pain. That is what is called as sickle cell pain crisis. Okay. So this you have studied in the previous video. So in this, again, I am going to continue with the same topic, that is about autosomal recessive gene disorders. In that, there are two remaining. One is thalassemia, another one is phenylketonuria, isn't it? So the first thing about the autosomal recessive gene disorder, here thalassemia. Okay, this is the second one that was given in your syllabus. See, here thalassa means sea or ocean, that is the Mediterranean Ocean. Okay, so where the disease was first reported, that is around the region of Mediterranean Ocean, where the disease was first reported in the people residing or in the countries surrounding or around the Mediterranean Ocean. Hence the disease was named as thalassemia. Thalassa means sea or ocean here. The reason because yake thalassemia anta name ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, those people who are residing around the Mediterranean Ocean, so the disease was reported in them for the first time. Hence it was named as thalassemia. Okay. See, this is also similar to sickle cell anemia, being autosomal recessive gene disorder, but not like change in the shape of RBC. So alli ತರ RBC shape change ಆಗಲ್ಲ, but similar to that one. The reason because being autosomal recessive gene disorder, and also it is a blood related disorder. It means the body will produce here the defective hemoglobin. Okay, so the hemoglobin will be defective here and the persons will become anemic. So a severe case of anemia that can be seen, though the body usually what happens in case of anemia, so the iron content in the blood that was decreases, isn't it? So though the body is having normal iron content, the persons will be anemic here because of the presence of defective gene or the recessive gene. Okay, see, you know that RBCs are having two polypeptide chains. One is alpha, another one is beta, isn't it? Okay, so there are two alpha and two beta chains can be seen. You know the number of amino acids here, 141 and 146 amino acids can be seen here. Okay, so the thalassemia can be of two types. So if there is a defect in the alpha, it is known as alpha thalassemia. If there is a defect in alpha, it is regarded as alpha thalassemia. Similarly, if there is a defect in beta, it is regarded as beta thalassemia. Okay, so again, alpha and beta thalassemia, that can be classified into thalassemia major and thalassemia minor. Okay, so thalassemia is of two types. One is alpha, another one is beta. That is based on the defect in what polypeptide chain or in what gene. Okay, if the gene producing alpha polypeptide chain, if there is a defect in that, it is regarded as alpha thalassemia. If the gene producing the beta polypeptide chain, if there is a defect in that gene, then it is said to be beta thalassemia. Okay, so again in this we can see two kinds. One is thalassemia major and thalassemia minor. See here, thalassemia major is nothing but the defect is observed in two or both of the polypeptide chains. Beta, ಎರಡು beta polypeptide chain ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು alpha polypeptide chain ಅಲ್ಲಿ defects ಇದ್ರೆ, ಎರಡು polypeptide chain ಅಲ್ಲೂ defect ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ major ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. It means that the person received defective gene from both of the parents, both from the father as well as from the mother. Okay, see, as I said, if the defect is seen in both of the polypeptide chain, it means the person receives the recessive gene or the defective gene from both the parents, both from the father as well as from the mother. That type of thalassemia is what is called as major. It means two polypeptide chains are defected here. It means abnormal hemoglobin is produced here. The condition of thalassemia is the major one, where the abnormal hemoglobin was produced, not like the normal. So where those hemoglobin or those RBCs, they tend to destruct rapidly, very rapidly. So hence the persons will become anemic. Okay. So if thalassemia major, where the defect can be seen on both of the polypeptide chain, whether it is alpha or it is beta, here the person receives the defective gene from both the parents or two copies of recessive gene. So then thalassemia minor, on the other hand, see here the person receives the defective gene from either of the parents. It means either from the father or from the mother, not from the both. Only one copy of recessive gene is present here. These persons, they do not show any kind of symptoms. Okay, because mainly only one polypeptide chain, either alpha or beta, is defective here, because the person receives only one recessive gene either from the mother or from the father. They do not show any symptom, though they are having thalassemia, because it is minor, not showing that much of symptoms. Okay, but whereas in this case, in case of major, the person received the recessive gene from both of the parents, hence the symptoms will be more here. So more anemic conditions can be seen here. The RBCs or the hemoglobin, they will be destructed very rapidly. Okay, so that is what is called as thalassemia major. Okay, see, in this thalassemia major, the beta thalassemia major that was first reported, as I said, the people who are residing in the regions of Mediterranean Sea. So where beta thalassemia major was first reported in the region where the people residing the Mediterranean Sea. So and that was first discovered or described by the symptoms of this disease was first described by Dr. Thomas Cooley. Dr. Thomas Cooley. Okay, he first describes the symptoms of this one, that is about beta thalassemia. See, hence this is also known as Cooley's anemia. The beta thalassemia is also known as Cooley's anemia. So where, as he describes, he is a pediatrician. Okay, he describes the symptoms of this one. Hence, this is regarded as Cooley's anemia. Beta thalassemia, also known as Cooley's anemia. So where the disease is mainly characterized by the destructions of the hemoglobin, and also the RBCs, they have very shorter lifespan. Hence, the persons will leads to anemic. Okay, so where not though the amount of iron is normal in the blood iron level normal agidruno, but the people become anemic for this one. Okay, so in this condition, the major one, so persons will become severely anemic. And also, if the children or infants, if they are affected with this disease, so they tend to develop severe anemic condition within 1 year of the birth. Sometimes it also leads to stillbirth. It means the baby may die during the birth, or it may seem the gestation, the birth that takes place at the 7th month. So such kind of baby they cannot develop, and also they develop the symptoms like jaundice. Then stillbirth. Stillbirth means they may die during the birth or just after the birth, or premature birth also can be seen. Premature means that is in the 7th month or in the 8th month, in such conditions. Okay, so they develop jaundice, and within 1 year they develop severe anemia. Within 1 year they develop severe anemia. Such babies or infants, they tend to die. Okay, because of severe anemia. If they receive, and telling that the major, they receive the defective gene from both the parents. Okay, so then severe anemia will causes. If they have only one of the gene from defective gene from one parent, so then they do not develop the symptom, but they are the carriers. Okay, so within 1 year, with the infants with the major thalassemia, especially the beta thalassemia, within 1 year they develop severe anemia, and those babies, they tend to die. Okay, similarly, bone deformities can be observed. Bone deformities, especially the facial bones. Bone deformities were observed in the facial bones. Okay, right? Proper agi bones enagala, development agala, or bone shape may change. Even the shape of the face, that may change. That is what is called bone deformities in the facial bones that is observed. Okay, so these are the symptoms of thalassemia major. Similarly, the alpha thalassemia that see in the region of Asia. Okay, in Asian regions, alpha thalassemia that can be reported. That is reported from Asian regions. That is alpha thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia reported from Asian regions and also reported from African regions. So where it was reported in Asian as well as in African regions. So here also there is a major and another one is minor. Major thalassemia means defect can be seen on both of the polypeptide chains. It means the person will receive the defective gene from both the parents. Then again alpha thalassemia minor means defect can be seen only on one of the alpha polypeptide chain. You know that the RBCs were made up of 4 polypeptide chains. So among that 2 are alpha and 2 are beta. Okay. So if both of them will be defected, it is said to be major. If 2 of them or if only one of them it is defected, either alpha or beta, that is what is called as the minor. Okay. So this alpha thalassemia was reported in Asian countries or in African regions. Okay, and also even in China also. Even China that comes in Asia, isn't it? So that is about the thalassemia. The symptoms: severe anemia if they have major one only, not the minor thalassemia. Minor thalassemia that do not develop any symptom. So the major thalassemia there will be severe anemia in the infants especially. So within 1 year of the birth, okay, stillbirth can be seen. Okay, the babies will die just after the birth or during the birth or before the birth, even within the womb of the mother. So then deformities of the bone can be seen in the especially the facial bones. The babies will develop jaundice. Okay, so these are the symptoms of thalassemia. So this is also the recessive gene disorder, autosomal recessive gene disorder. Okay, and the next similar one, autosomal recessive gene disorder, is phenylketonuria. 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 This is shortly named as PKU. Phenylketonuria is shortly termed as PKU. Phenylketonuria. So this is also an autosomal recessive gene disorder. You know what are autosomes? Okay, the body chromosomes. This is also an autosomal recessive gene disorder. A very rare genetic condition is seen here. Means this is a very rare recessive gene, autosomal recessive gene disorder, a very rare disorder this one is, where in this condition, where the recessive gene that found on the 11th chromosome, the recessive gene was observed on the 11th chromosome here. In this condition, the body was unable to produce an enzyme, what is called as phenylalanine hydroxylase. Phenylalanine hydroxylase. The body unable to produce an enzyme called as phenylalanine hydroxylase. This is very important. You remember this. This will be asked for 1 mark. Name the enzyme that was absent in case of phenylketonuria. Phenylketonuria condition ಅಥವಾ disease ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ enzyme formation ಆಗಲ್ಲ. That is phenylalanine hydroxylase. Okay, so this is an enzyme which is very much responsible for the formation of melanin. You know melanin, the pigment that is found in the skin as well as in the hairs, isn't it? So that gives a characteristic color for the face. It means for the skin as well as for the hairs. So that is what is called as melanin. See, this phenylalanine hydroxylase, the role here, it converts an amino acid, an essential amino acid, phenylalanine, into tryptophan. Phenylalanine into tryptophan. See, this is another amino acid, and this tryptophan is involved in melanin production. It's involved in melanin production. Phenylalanine, the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme that convert an amino acid called as phenylalanine into tryptophan, that is another amino acid. And tryptophan that is involved in the production of melanin. Melanin formation alli tryptophan major role irutte, that is involved in the production of melanin. So where you know that melanin that gives a characteristic color to the skin as well as for the hairs. Okay. So when this enzyme is absent in the body, when the body is unable to produce this enzyme because of the presence of recessive gene, when it is unable to produce the enzyme, so then this phenylalanine and its derivatives, they accumulate in the blood. ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಿನೈಲ್ ಅಲನಿನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಡಿರೈವೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥದ್ದು, ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಯುಮುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ಡಿರೈವೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫಿನೈಲ್ of this, which one? That is phenylketonuria. Okay, that is phenyl lactic acid, and phenyl pyruvic acid. Phenyl lactic acid and phenyl pyruvic acid. So they goes on accumulate in the body. Body ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, accumulate ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. So when they starts accumulating in the body, that gives a characteristic smell like a mousy or a musty odor that will be emitted, that can be seen in the breath. Okay, ಒಂಥರ ಮೌಸಿ ಓಡರ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ರೆತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಮಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಈವನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ದ ಹೇರ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಯೂರಿನ್. Okay, so that is the symptom of this one, especially the phenylketonuria. So why this disease comes? As I said, if the person receives the recessive gene from both the parents, then only the disease can occur. If the person receives a recessive gene from both of the parents, that's why it is said to be a rare disease, because it is very rare to receive the recessive gene from both the parents, isn't it? So if the person receives the recessive gene from both the parents, then the person will develop the disease. So the normal condition is capital P and capital P. This is a normal condition, the normal one, where body that produces phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme, that phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme that converts the phenylalanine into tryptophan. So then it produces the melanin, isn't it? So where this is normal condition, then this is also the normal, where capital P and small p, one dominant gene, another one is the recessive gene. So this is also the normal one. Okay, so this is the abnormal condition where the person receives the defective gene from both of the parents. Okay, so then what is the symptom here? So as I said, phenyl pyruvic acid and phenyl lactic acid, they accumulate in the blood. Blood will accumulate agadrinda, there will be a mousy or a musty odor that can be seen in the breath or even in the hairs and in the skin. Okay, so here those infants, the kids with this phenylketonuria, they have low social activity. They have low social activity. Low social activity can be seen here. Those kids are infants with the phenylketonuria. They show low social activity and hyperactive, and they will be hyperactive. Okay, and unusual or abnormal positioning of hands. Unusual or abnormal positioning of hands. And the major symptom is the hair and the skin. Hair and the skin, they are very pale. Hair and the skin will be very pale, because the reason is because of the lack of melanin. Okay, because melanin is not produced here, hence the skin and the hair, they will be very pale. Okay, so these are the symptoms of phenylketonuria. So the major thing in this condition, the phenylalanine hydroxylase, the enzyme is absent, because body is unable to produce that enzyme that is responsible for melanin synthesis. Okay, so when this enzyme is absent, that is mainly because of the presence of 2 copies of recessive gene are received from both the parents. Okay, and these are the symptoms of phenylketonuria. Okay, so this is about the autosomal disorders that is given in your syllabus. One is sickle cell anemia, another one is thalassemia, another one is phenylketonuria. Okay, so the next concept is about chromosomal disorders. So till here you studied about the Mendelian disorders, isn't it? Means the disorders related are pertaining to one gene. So here you are going to study about chromosomal aberrations or chromosomal disorders. Means abnormal number of chromosomes can be seen here. Chromosomal disorders or chromosomal aberrations. So either increase or decrease in the number of chromosome is observed. Okay, so that is called as chromosomal aberrations or disorders. So illivargu odidu one gene with respect to one gene, that is following Mendelian laws of inheritance, similar fashions of Mendelian laws of inheritance. So hence they were known as monogenic inheritance or Mendelian disorders. So now we study about chromosomal disorders, either an increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes are observed. So a condition what we call as aneuploidy. In aneuploidy, where you can see a condition where either increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes can be seen. Either, that is nothing but either the addition or deletion of chromosomes were observed. Either an addition or deletion of chromosome was observed. What is aneuploidy? A condition where this has asked in the examination twice or thrice. Okay, the condition where an addition or deletion of chromosome is observed. It means either an increase or decrease of chromosomes were observed in case of aneuploidy. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ chromosome add ಆಗಬಹುದು. For example, like 2n plus 1. This is addition here. 2n is a normal diploid set plus 1 chromosome is added here to that existing diploid set, means the normal chromosomes. For example, say as what is a diploid set of chromosome number in humans, that is 46, plus to this 46 number of chromosome 1 chromosome extra is added. Added ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ತಂದು ಹಾಕೋದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So during formation of gametes ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, chromosomes fails to separate ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೆ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಅನಾಫೇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಫೇಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಸ್ ಸಚ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಟು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 2n plus 1 ಅಂದರೆ 2n means diploid set, normal diploid set, 46 chromosomes ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಡೆಡ್ one chromosome ಆಡ್ ಆದರೆ, then number of chromosomes will be 47, isn't it? Rise in the chromosome was observed. One chromosome increases, that is aneuploidy, increase in the number of chromosomes. For example, decrease 2n, this is a normal diploid set, minus 1, one chromosome is deleted. So 2n minus 1 means 46 minus 1 is equal to 45. So one chromosome is decreased here. 46 minus 1 is equal to 45. One chromosome is decreased here. See, this is one chromosome decreases. Decrease. Increase or decrease. Here it is increase and here it is decrease, isn't it? So either addition or deletion. Here it is added, this is addition, and here it was deleted, this is what is called as deletion. Hence one chromosome decreases from the normal diploid set. Here one chromosome increases in the normal diploid set. That is what is called as aneuploidy. Either increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes is what is called as aneuploidy. Okay. So in this aneuploidy we can see the following types like monosomy, nullisomy, and monosomy, then trisomy. Nullisomy, monosomy, then trisomy. See here, nullisomy means decrease in the number of chromosomes is observed. A chromosome is lacking in case of nullisomy. A chromosome, that is 2n minus 1. A chromosome is lacking, decrease in the number of chromosomes. Okay, 1 or 2 chromosomes. That is what is called as nullisomy. Decrease or deletion of chromosome is called as nullisomy. Deletion are nullisomy. So ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ for example monosomy. See in monosomy 2n minus 1. So where one chromosome is lacking here. Monosomy, one chromosome is lacking here. One chromosome ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯಿತು. So for example Turner syndrome. In Turner syndrome, whereas females are missing one X chromosome, it means a chromosome lacks its homologue. You know, they were present in homologous space, isn't it? Paternal and maternal chromosomes, they are homologous to each other. In monosomy, a chromosome lacks its homologue. ಅಂದರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಲಿರೋಂಥ ಪೇರ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, in case of Turner syndrome, the females will lack 44A, this is nothing but 44 autosomes plus X0. X0 means, you know that females are having the genotype 44A plus XX, isn't it? So this is female. But whereas in case of Turner syndrome, this 44A plus X0, here X and X chromosome both are homologous to each other, isn't it? So here one X chromosome is lacking here. That is monosomy. 2n minus 1. Okay. So similarly, the trisomy, addition of one chromosome to the normal diploid set. Addition of one chromosome to the normal diploid set. This is trisomy. Addition of one chromosome to the normal diploid set means 46 chromosomes were there. to this plus 1 chromosome is added, then the number will become 47. Isn't it? Extra chromosome is added here. So this is also an abnormality. So where it develops various symptoms, all together collectively called as syndrome. Even in this condition also, in this one also, either addition or deletion that develops a syndrome. A group of disorders or deformities that can be seen, that is what is called as a syndrome. Okay. So for this one, trisomy, the examples are Down syndrome. Down syndrome. Down syndrome. See, in this Down syndrome, one autosome is added. Addition of one autosome. Hence, Down syndrome is known as a trisomy. And even in Klinefelter syndrome, here also, but here one allosome is added. In case of Klinefelter syndrome, Klinefelter's syndrome, one allosome is added. Okay, so in Down syndrome, one autosome is added, whereas in case of Klinefelter syndrome, one allosome is added. Okay, so that is 44A. These are the autosomes plus what is in case of males? XY. This is normal male, whereas in case of Klinefelter syndrome, 44A plus XXY. Observe here, one extra X chromosome is added here to this normal set, XXY. So then this is a genetic abnormality. This is a chromosomal aberration. Okay. See, in this chromosomal aberration means abnormalities. Okay. In this chromosomal aberration, you have three syndromes. One is Down syndrome, that is regarded with the autosomes. Another one is Turner syndrome and Klinefelter syndrome, both of them regarded with the allosomes. So that is the last topic in this chapter, that is in principles of inheritance. Okay, so I will make that in the next video, that is about Down syndrome, Turner syndrome and Klinefelter syndrome. Okay, thank you.